Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you kind of something from the archives. I was going through my videos and archiving a bunch of content, and I ran across a video that I filmed it was definitely last year, probably was later in the year or later in last summer, but it was a commentary and me sharing 3 takeaways that I got from one of my guests, Jean Badgley, talking about Nichiren Buddhism, which is an amazing episode. All of my guests share awesome wisdom, and I love them so much because for them taking the time to share what they are deeply passionate and knowledgeable about. And Jean Badgley, her episode it's got 20 likes, it doesn't have any dislikes, and I just think people love it. She has a very nice way of presenting. She is a voiceover artist, and that lends itself well to her being an awesome guest because she presents well, she speaks well. It's just a very nice episode. Like I say, they're all awesome. This one, because she comes across very passionate about Nichiren Buddhism, and she shares some really helpful nuggets to help you on your journey, and practical, right? She said that, hey, this is a Buddhism for the modern world, and if you need a car to get to your work, there's nothing wrong with asking and manifesting that, right? If you need something to make your life easier or help facilitate in some way, there's nothing wrong with asking for that. And so there's no shame or guilt built around asking for material things. And that's what I thought was really fascinating. But I wanted to share this video with you. Like I said, I forgot to share it last year when I created it. So I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. That would be super awesome. I would really appreciate it. Enjoy these 3 bits of nuggets I want to share with you from that video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I wish you all the best. Health, wealth, and success. Here's the video.
Buddhism is a religion, but no one even says religion in this practice.
Yeah.
We're like, it's a practice. I mean, Herbie Hancock, he is amazing. He practices this Buddhism. And he says, I love this so much. He says, it's a philosophy that I practice religiously.
Wow.
When he explains it to people, because that's what it feels like. And so basically, Nichiren Daishonin, he realized that, by practicing Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, there's this inherent Buddha nature that lies within every single human being. And when you chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, you pull this out. It's a transformation. It's this mystic truth that lies within every human being. And, people who, when you begin to awaken your Buddha nature, it awakens this unlimited reserves of courage and wisdom and compassion, to resolve every challenge in our life.
Hi, this is Mark, and in this short video, I just wanted to take a minute and share my 3 favorite takeaways from Jean Badgley's recent episode of Enhancing the Human Experience. That's episode 126, where she's sharing with us her practice that she practices Nichiren Buddhism. And I thought there were a lot of good nuggets in that, and maybe you haven't had a chance to listen to the whole episode. So I wanted to share my 3 favorite nuggets with you, just to give you an idea of what's in that episode. A lot of goodness in that, and a lot of practical, experiential knowledge that we can apply to our lives in order to have more freedom, have more material things that we need to be happier and actually do the things we came to do in the world, do the work we need to do. So here are my 3 favorite takeaways. And the first one is this. She mentioned a number of times in that interview this idea of practice, that no one is has perfected this, or no one has arrived to a point in the Nichiren Buddhism community that they don't need to do the practice, and that it's a daily practice, and that every day they need to show up and actually do the chanting and do the inner work that then causes their experience to transform in the outer world. And I thought that was really awesome because this is something that a lot of people talk about. It's kind of funny that this came up because in a recent episode, or excuse me, a recent email from one of my prior guests, David Ogle. He talked about the practice as well, and he said that practice doesn't happen when you're in the game. Practice, doesn't happen on the playing field. Practice and growth and getting better actually happens when you're practicing in the day-to-day practice that no one else sees, that, is not sometimes super pretty. It's not, awesome, at the time when things are really happening for us. But I thought that was really awesome. This idea of practice is really huge. So Kelly talked about that as well. The idea that it is a daily practice, that no one ever arrives at a point when they can't or when they don't need to practice anymore. I thought that was really awesome. The second big takeaway that I took from this interview is when she was talking about the idea of manifesting. And in this Nichiren Buddhism tradition, they don't look at manifesting material things as not worthy or not, something that they should do. She talked about manifesting a car in order to get to a job, in order to do your work in the world. That's valid, right? And you and I both know that. We're spiritual and physical beings. We're living in a world where we have to have material things. We have to have things like cars and houses and clothes and other things that make life better and help us do our work in the world and help us have better experiences. And to deny that aspect isn't really doing us any good, right? It denies, it kind of doesn't really seem like an appropriate thing to do. And I thought that was really awesome that this spiritual philosophy doesn't do that. Manifesting physical things is just as valid as manifesting, spiritual things or manifesting enlightenment, things like that. I thought that was super awesome. And my third and final takeaway that I want to share with you is there is an idea within this philosophy, Nichiren Buddhism, that is based on the idea of how can I create value for this? Whatever's happening in your life, how can I create value from it? She uses the example of, hey, you got a flat tire. Awesome. How can you create value from that? Something else happened to you. Awesome. How can you create value from that? And using that as your vehicle in order to do work in the world and be of service and actually, go through our stuff and clean our stuff up, clean up our consciousness, clean up our belief system, all these things adding value to the world and other people's lives and even our own spiritual journey, I thought was really awesome. So those are my three favorite takeaways from this episode 126. There's a lot of goodness in this, and the big reason that I feel that way is that it seems to be based on practical knowledge for modern world solutions and issues. She even mentioned a Buddhist podcast, or a podcast that is based on Nichiren Buddhism. I think it's called Buddhism Solutions for Modern Living or something like that. I've got a link in the show notes at gmarkphillips.com at this episode 126, and I've added that to my playlist for podcasts playing, and I'm going to go check it out at some point and listen to some of those episodes, because it sounds like it applies this philosophy, Nichiren Buddhism, to modern day issues and problems that we're facing, which is really what we want, right? We want something that can help us have practical application, help us have better experiences on a day-to-day basis. So those are my three favorite takeaways from this episode. If you want to check it out, go to gmarkphillips.com or any of your favorite podcast players. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, all the best. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.